This is how to treat dating like sales. I have been in sales for 4 years, and I've also started talking to girls about 4 years ago, and I was able to apply the mindset shifts and the viewpoints of sales into dating to have tons and tons of success. So I'm going to be breaking down everything that I've done and taken from sales and applied to dating in this video. So the first and most important thing that I learned that I applied from sales to dating was the sales mindset. The way that you perceive the world, the way that you view things and internalize them is probably one of the most important things that you could actually focus on is developing the mindset that will allow you to have success. See, there's so many mindset shifts that I took from sales. Like one that just comes to mind right now is every single call gets you closer to a sale. So in one of my insurance jobs, one of these shitty jobs with a low closing rate under 10%, talking to old people all day long, getting cursed out all the time, everything they would always say to you, the guys, the sales managers would be like, you're just one call closer to a deal. You have a 10% or so close rate. Maybe it's like 8, whatever. Maybe it was 6, who knows? But it wasn't that good. And they were like, on a long enough time frame, you just keep taking these calls and you're gonna get a sale. And that's the mindset that I operated with in sales, was that I just gotta keep taking calls and eventually I'm gonna get a sale. And it's the same thing you can apply to dating, is just, I just need to keep talking to girls and eventually I'll get a sale, right? It's the same idea, but you can apply it with so many different perspectives and lenses that I'm about to break down that makes it so valuable. So, for example, we can take this one and expand on it a little bit. So not only will you have success on a long enough time frame if you just keep talking to girls, but you can add to it with every single interaction, good or bad, is going to teach me something valuable that I can use on a long enough time frame to get good with girls as a whole. This has been one of the most effective mindset shifts I've had, because if you understand that it's going to teach you something, whether it goes good or bad, you have no fear or no excuse to not do it. So, for example, I was at the beach 2 days ago. I think it was Saturday. Today's Monday. Yeah, 2 days ago. And I saw some attractive girls over on the beach, went up and talked to them. I got her snap. But today, I was in the gym, saw a really attractive girl, went up, talked to her, and she said she had a boyfriend after we chatted for a little bit. But it was still a good interaction. There was nothing that bad about it. I mean, technically, it didn't go my way, but it still just makes me feel great that I'm out there talking to girls, because I know that the more I talk to girls, the better I'm going to be at everything as a whole, between starting conversations, just seeing how things go. I mean, at this point, I've talked to so many, but if you're more getting started, every time you see how things go, it's going to serve to be valuable. Now I'm looking for things like, at this level, more like body language, micro expressions, and this is just taking me to the next level. So there's so many stages to it. And if you can really internalize just this one mindset shift that I gave you, it's going to absolutely revolutionize everything for you. You're going to start talking to every single girl, and you're actually going to be starting to get good with girls. That's the thing, is you need to start getting very comfortable around them. You need to start practicing talking to them, what to say. Once you have that full degree of confidence like I do, that you just know you can talk to any girl the way that I know I can close a sale, this is how you start to get really good with girls. So that's just one of the many mindset shifts that I have, and that's probably the most valuable one, so I'll give that one to you. And here's the thing too, is when you get into sales, you learn how to communicate. And communication is so important. So that's why I built you guys a high-level communication guide, breaking down all my communicative strategies, the things that I do to start and have great conversations, to talk to girls, little things to look into. And I broke that all down for you. It's completely for free. It's the first thing in the description below. And here's some of the action steps that you can take to actually treat dating like sales. And it's not that difficult. See, when I was just getting into sales, when I just turned 19, before I made this transformation, I was terrible. I went on one cold call where a guy asked me, he was like kind of asking why I should work with him. I panicked, hung up the phone, and not too long after that quit this. So I never made any money with my first sales gig. And that was kind of this negative experience that I first had with sales. And I kind of was like, no, I'm never going to get into sales again. And eventually, after making the transformation, developing my mindset, everything that you see now, I was able to get back into it and succeed. And the thing that you need to do is you need to just keep trying. If you can't get good at sales if you never take a call, that's the thing, is you need to be out there taking calls, knocking on doors, practicing, failing, succeeding. This is the only way that you're going to get good. So the first action step that you can take to treat dating like sales is talk to every attractive girl you see. If you do this, you're going to be exponentially better than the person who doesn't. It's that simple. If I never hop back on the horse, tried the second job, I would have never been at this point now, where I've had multiple successful sales careers, a successful sales academy business, and now a successful coaching program off of YouTube. all of it involves sales. Sales is in everything that you do, and the way that you do one thing is the way you do everything. So I'm always just applying all these aspects and these mindset shifts and steps to all areas of life. So when it comes to girls, I'm talking to every attractive girl that I see. Just no matter how it goes, I'm just happy to talk to them. I'm just happy to be a social guy, introduce myself, whether I'm at the gym, the beach. Nightlife is a huge spot for me. I talk to so many girls in nightlife. But that's just how it is. And if you can apply that same sort of action step where it's like, oh yeah, obviously I have to hop on sales calls today. I want to make money. It's like, yeah, obviously I'm going to talk to girls because I want to get girls. It's that simple. You apply the same action steps that you used in sales that give people success repeatedly. Everyone who takes these steps will get success. You do the same thing with girls and you'll have the same success as well. It's that simple. And the last thing that I want to bring up from sales is the sales funnel. There's so many different sales funnels that you can run, but in general, a sales funnel means you have all these leads at the top who don't have any awareness of you, and then they slowly get warmer and warmer until they come to the bottom of the funnel and they become a customer. So there's many different touch points which you can use to get them to that point of being a customer, and they all start up at the top as cold traffic. No one knows you, whether it starts with a YouTube video, a cold call, whatever it is, you eventually get people down to being the customer, right? And it's the same thing with girls. See, you have many different vehicles that you can use. You can communicate over text, Snap. You can use your Instagram. You can post stories. You can have a cool Instagram that is kind of like your social passport that once you give it out, a girl's like, holy shit, who is this guy? I want to know more about him. You know, there's a lot of different things that you can do to apply that sales funnel into dating. And one of the best that I would recommend is going to be Instagram. If you have a sick Instagram and you're giving that to girls and they see that, it's going to give you a ton more success. So I'll give you an example. This isn't like proven by any means, but I think it's pretty solid. Where about a month and a half ago, I was at a festival and I saw a girl who I'd been with the first year or the previous year. And I just said hi to her. The first night, it was a 3-day festival. And the first night I said hi to her. It was a little awkward, but we were like, oh, hey, how's it going? Whatever. The second day, we were vibing super heavily. Like we were hanging out for like 30, 40 minutes. We were talking a bunch, seeing each other throughout the day. And I gave her I said, take my Instagram. And she was like, why? And I was like, yeah, let's just keep in, because it was just, I did something smooth. She was saying she's going to be traveling. I was like, oh, I want to see what you're up to in your travels. Just, yeah, let's stay connected. And she was like, okay, I already had her on Snap. But then I think she saw my Instagram and I have some cool posts on there. At least I think they're cool. And then she started DMing me a bunch. She actually DM'd me the next night, but I was already asleep. I was upset about that the next day. And then eventually, you know, we ended up making things happen. A couple weeks later, I traveled, she traveled, whatever. We worked things out. But I think having that Instagram as that social passport is so valuable. If you have abs, you're not really no girl's gonna see that you have abs unless you're at the beach. You know, you can showcase yourself however you want to. You can showcase your body, your lifestyle, your face in the best angles. It makes you look so much better. Think about it, right? When you get with a girl, your boys are like, oh, let me see her, pull up her Instagram. It's the first thing that everyone goes to. And if you have a really good Instagram and you're always posting cool stories, this is going to kind of cultivate this presence where it's like they're constantly seeing you. That's one of the things is, you know, with sales, it's like there's a lot of touch points. You're always hearing about this person. You're always seeing them. And if you can apply this with Instagram to the girls that you're not going to get with that night. So like, for example, if I'm in the club and I know I'm going to get with a girl that night, I'll just get her Snap. And then, you know, if I don't have her next to me the whole night, I'll just text her and be like, come back to my place. And it usually works out that way. But with Instagram, you can play the long game. You can, you know, you can have a lot of, like, for example, I had a girl I was getting with on Saturday. So I talked to a bunch of new girls in the mix when I was at the club with my boy. And I got some of them on Instagram so that now I can start working that long game with them. It's like, it's the long mindset. And Instagram is that most powerful tool that will help you start to really cultivate a lot of different things that will eventually pan out. I did this 2 years ago as well. I had this one girl, got her on Instagram, was posting stories in the gym on the jet ski. She was liking them. Eventually we ended up getting together. It's just kind of how it works. You're always, you know, being seen by that person, giving them opportunities to kind of chase you a little bit, where they're like, oh, damn, this guy's cool, like his story. It's like that little hint that girls will drop to show you that she likes you. You can try and set up plans then. There's so many ways to play it, but I really think that Instagram is the most powerful tool you could use for dating and having a dating funnel that is going to give you lots and lots of success. So besides that, I mean, I would, if it's just short-term game like bringing a girl home for the night, I just use Snap. That's common in Scandinavia. But long-term games, Instagram is so powerful. And once again, if you guys want my communicative strategies that have allowed me to have all this success, that's going to be completely for free. It's the first thing in the description below.